Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I have eggnog. It's the holiday season, and there's some traditional drinks out there. I don't necessarily care for them completely, but do I not like them because I'm only drinking the store-bought and I'm not making my own? Or do I really not like them? This, again, it's a little bit more work. It's so much easier to go to the store and buy it, but I tell you, it's worth it. I'm not an eggnog guy. I'm not a let's put alcohol in cream. That's not my type of drink. But this is a great eggnog recipe. Also, makes a great gift. First things first, let's gather our ingredients. You're gonna need rum. You're gonna need salt. You're gonna need some sugar. You're gonna need 6 eggs. You need 3 cups of milk, 1.5 cups of cream, and you're gonna need some whole nutmeg. You can do ground nutmeg, I guess. So now we gathered our ingredients. Let's get started. So we're going to start with a bowl and a whisk, and I'm just going to combine half the cream, so about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream here. You want to save the rest. I'm going to put it in the fridge. The secret ingredient we'll use later. Now I'm only going to use the yolks here. If you want to save the whites, go ahead. 6 egg yolks, 3/4 a cup of cream, 6 egg yolks. It's going to be so rich and delicious. And now I'm doing 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Going to whisk all this together, thoroughly mixed. It's going to be pale yellow or bright orange, depending on how nice and fresh your eggs are. Now we're just going to let that sit. We're going to go over to our stove, where we're going to put our 3 cups of milk in, and a hefty pinch of salt here, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. If you're using kosher, go up a little bit. So I'm just going to get that on over medium-high heat. I'm going to bring it up to a simmer. Probably should have done that first, because it's going to take a few minutes to get up to a simmer here. I love me some nutmeg. It's delicious. You know, the outside of the nutmeg, the exterior here, it's actually called mace. If you've ever heard someone dusted with mace or whatever, it's the exterior of the nutmeg. We got our milk coming up to our simmer. We have our egg, sugar, cream mixture. Once that gets hot, we'll temper it in here. We'll get everything in there. We're going to bring it up to temperature. Now, what this does is it just extends the life of your eggnog, so it lasts a little longer. Then it also makes sure that it's food safe. So you can rest assured that if people get sick at Christmas, it's not because of your eggnog. Now that my milk has come up to temperature, started simmering, I'm going to pour the egg yolk sugar cream mixture in there. I have taken it off the heat. I'm going to whisk rapidly. I don't want to curdle my eggs here, so let's move quickly. I'm going to try and do it so you all can see. Now that you've tempered the eggs, get it back on the heat. I'm doing medium-low heat. I'm going to bring it up to about 160 degrees. Almost there. Stay on target. Right there. Get it off the heat. Get off the heat, get in a separate bowl. Now, we're going to stir in some of the fun stuff. Another great thing about this recipe is it's easily scalable. So if you need to make more, you can. I'm going to stir in about 1/2 cup of rum. Now, you can adjust. You can do less. You can do more. I might do a scant 1/2 cup here. Pretty boozy. Great. Now, the hard part. You can put this bowl in a bigger bowl full of ice, get it in the fridge, get it cool. Should chill for about an hour. We're almost there. So now you all get to watch me make whipped cream by hand. We're going to take that remaining 3/4 cup of heavy cream that we used for our eggnog. Remember, we had 1.5 cups total. We only used half. We're going to use that remainder and we're going to make some whipped cream. You fold it in and it's going to give a little bit more richness, a little bit more body to this eggnog. So it's not just kind of too watery. It's got a little bit more oomph, a little bit more mouthfeel. You can use a stand mixer. It should take you maybe 1 to 2 minutes in a stand mixer. I think it's going to take me a little bit longer doing it by hand, but if you don't have a stand mixer or you don't want to use a stand mixer, you can absolutely do it by hand, and I'm going to prove it. First and foremost, you want to make sure your heavy cream is cold. We're going to get into a bowl. It's going to be really hard to whisk up into whipped cream if it's not cold. All right, here we go. All right, so right now we're at the foamy stage. This is stage 1. You can also notice I'm going back and forth. This is the most efficient way to whisk. Doing circles or any of this or backhand that. Yeah, back and forth, back and forth. Most efficient way to whisk. As someone that used to make whipped cream every single night, he worked in a restaurant, and I'm talking a big bowl of it, not just this little bit. Back and forth, back and forth. All right, you can see it's starting to thicken up. That's great. We're getting there. We're probably 3/4 of the way there, maybe 2/3 of the way. You want soft peaks. Don't break your arm. You don't have to do stiff peaks. Soft peaks are fine. Look at this. I have made whipped cream from scratch. No sugar, no vanilla. Remember, this is going in eggnog. Yeah, it's about soft peak. Here, look. It's bent. It's not stiff. It's not upright. It's bent. It's a soft peak. Perfect. All right, now that you have your whipped cream and your eggnog is chilled, it's time to fold it in and serve it. All right, we have our chilled eggnog here. We are going to get our whipped cream in. Now that I've added my whipped cream, I'm just gonna kind of whisk it in, not over whisk it. We still wanna give it a little bit of body here. Keep the air in there. Oh, yes. All right, let's serve it up. So now that we got our eggnog, remember, taste it, make sure it's boozy enough. This is gonna be so boozy. My wife's gonna get home and it's gonna be drunk. I did it for TV. Can't get mad. Now that you have your glass of eggnog, it's kind of fun to do just a little of nutmeg here. Beautiful. It looks great. And if you're feeling extra fancy, you can always take a candy cane here, break off a bit, smash it up, and sprinkle it on top. Look at that. It's all fancy and nice. And I'll try this eggnog. Remember, I'm not an eggnog person, so maybe this will convert me. Here goes, bottoms up. Enjoy the eggnog. It's actually not bad. So obviously I put the nutmeg on top, so that's the first thing that hits. But then I get this kind of this rich, it's not like a milkshake. It's not like thick like that and clingy. It's just got a little bit more heft than just drinking a glass of milk. It's just very smooth and it's delicious. And you kind of get this custardiness. And I think that's what the egg yolks really brought. It doesn't taste yolky. It doesn't taste eggy. And then all of a sudden the booze comes in and it just kind of like, wipes everything else out. It makes you want to take another sip. Peppermint's a nice touch here. It has a nice little bit of sweetness and adds some nice, pleasant peppermintiness. It's good. It's not quite at the same level as a milkshake, but it's like a sweet, boozy milkshake. Kind of reminds me of a mudslide without the chocolate. It's really good. It's delicious. I can see why people drink this. And also because it's so creamy and whatnot, you're not really drinking it quickly. So I guess that's a way to moderate your alcohol intake. I might put this at a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and I would do store-bought at like a 0 out of 10. This is just that good. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you like what you saw. And if you did, don't forget to check me out on YouTube and Twitch. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Take care.